This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Boop. 45-page indictment, 4 counts, not 45 counts, not 38 counts, 4 counts. I believe there will invariably be a superseding indictment related to this because the work of the grand jury is not done. They have not been dismissed. They're going to continue to investigate. They're going to continue to put pressure on witnesses to testify. What I'm going to do here is read, because let me back up. You're hearing all of the drumbeat of this is just free speech. This is an attack on free speech. All Donald Trump did was talk. And that's being weaponized against him. The DOJ is outlawing, criminalizing free speech. Which is interesting because in the indictment, I believe on page 2, the second page of the indictment, they go through the free speech argument and they talk about almost as though they knew what was coming. And they say, absolutely, Donald Trump had a right to this, had a right to this, had a right to this. But that's not what happened here. It wasn't just talking. Donald Trump tried to coerce, tried to pressure, tried to organize. He was involved in a conspiracy, and we're going to get to the co-conspirators, to overturn a free and fair election. If you use your speech to overturn an election, it's no longer protected speech. It is a crime. Not every right under the Constitution, protected by the Constitution, is limitless, is untouchable, is unlimited. Let me read from here from page 2. The defendant had a right, like every American, to speak publicly about the election and even to claim falsely that there had been outcome determinative fraud during the election that he had won. He was also entitled to formally challenge the results of the election through lawful and appropriate means, such as by seeking recounts or audits of the popular vote in states or filing lawsuits challenging ballots and procedures. Indeed, in many cases, the defendant did pursue these methods of contesting the election results. His efforts to change the outcome in any state through recounts, audits, or legal challenges were uniformly unsuccessful. He took the means into his own hands that were legally available to him. Those failed, so he pursued other means, illegal means, by entering into a conspiracy with 2 or more people. In this case, there's 6 not unindicted co-conspirators, legally speaking. They are co-conspirators who have yet to be indicted. Then they explain, shortly after Election Day, the defendant also pursued unlawful means of discounting legitimate votes and subverting the election results. In doing so, the defendant perpetrated 3 criminal conspiracies. Now, a conspiracy in this case doesn't mean 9/11 was an inside job. It means when 2 or more people enter together into a scheme to defraud or to break the law. A conspiracy to defraud the United States by using dishonesty, fraud, and deceit to impair, obstruct, and defeat the lawful federal government function by which the results of the presidential election are collected, counted, and certified by the federal government in violation of 18 U.S. Code Section 371. A conspiracy to corruptly obstruct and impede the January 6th congressional proceeding at which the collected results of the presidential election are counted and certified, the certification proceedings, in violation of 18 U.S. Code Section 512, subsection K, and a conspiracy against the right to vote and to have one's vote counted in violation of 18 U.S. Code Section 241. Now, that last one, certainly I have been screaming about for the last almost year and a half. That this was an attempt by Donald Trump and the mob, the insurrectionists, and the disparate satellite of idiots who orbit Donald Trump's head to enter into a conspiracy to disenfranchise you, If you voted for Joe Biden, they wanted to take away your vote. They wanted to make your vote impotent, not count. And here are 6 of the co-conspirators. Five of whom we know, one of which I don't know. Who do you think it is? In fact, what a great exercise. When I get to number 6 and you have an idea, leave a comment below. Isn't that what YouTubers do? Here we go. Co-conspirator number 1. This is Rudy Giuliani. And they give a brief summation of their role in the conspiracy entered into with Donald Trump to end democracy in America. An attorney who was willing to spread knowingly false claims and pursue strategies that the defendant's 2020 re-election campaign attorneys would not. Co-conspirator number 2, this is John Eastman, an attorney who devised and attempted to implement a strategy to leverage the vice president's ceremonial role overseeing the certification proceeding to obstruct the certification of the presidential election. Co-conspirator number 3, this is Sidney Powell. Remember, the woman who sent the email to Maria Bartiromo from the other woman who said that the wind tells her she's a ghost, but she doesn't believe it. An attorney whose unfounded claims of election fraud the defendant privately acknowledged to others sounded crazy. Nonetheless, the defendant embraced and publicly amplified co-conspirator number 3's disinformation. Co-conspirator number 4, this is Jeffrey Clark, the Department of Justice official who was in the running for Donald Trump to name him as acting attorney general, who believed that Chinese thermostats were changing votes that's really what he believed. A Justice Department official who worked on civil matters and who, with the defendant, attempted to use the Justice Department to open sham election crime investigations and influence state legislatures with knowingly false claims of election fraud. Co-conspirator number 5, this is Kenneth Chesebro, an attorney who assisted in devising and attempting to implement a plan to submit fraudulent slates of presidential electors to obstruct the certification proceedings. And then the number 6 person who is yet to be named, we don't know. There's not enough details here for us to understand and divine, if you will, who it is. Co-conspirator number 6, unknown. So if you know, let us know. A political consultant who helped implement a plan to submit fraudulent slates of presidential electors to obstruct the certification proceedings. So that's where we are. Now, in totality, in the 45 pages, there are all kinds of things that have been covered that have not yet been made or have not up to this point been made public, which lets you know that this particular grand jury, which this trial will be held in Washington, D.C., is absolutely, without a doubt, doing good work, thorough work. They have pieced all the pieces together. They have untangled the web of lies and conspiracy related to these particular individuals. It's a big deal, and there's going to be a lot of action in the days and months leading up to the trial. I believe there will be a superseding indictment because their work is not done. We will see, though. Anyway, what do you think? I'd love to know. You can leave a comment, as I've mentioned before. You can also call and leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you. If you want to help support my work and help produce the show, be a producer of the show, click the join button below. Become a channel member. For $2 a month, you can do just that. Help support the work to grow this channel. You can also click the super thanks button, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. Follow me on social media if that's your thing. I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, social media. If you're there, I'm there. Yeah, find me. I appreciate you guys. Big day, good day. A lot more to come, though. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.